Hello, everybody, and welcome back to OFFstage ONscreen, your one-stop shop for all your great movie reviews. I'm your host, Todd Kramer. Today, we are going to be reviewing with our in-house film reviewer, expert, Robert Nelson. We're going to review the film A Complete Unknown, the life story of Bob Dylan, starring Timothée Chalamet. And as we do on the show, we will start with, and here it is, the official trailer.
You tramped all the way from Minnesota. Why is that?
Oh, Minnesota.
I wanted to catch a spark.
If you're traveling in the
got that
North
guy in
Country Fair,
I just say no one wants to hear what a kid wrote last month.
Well, I like your songs.
where the winds hit heavy on the borderline,
Who wrote this? He did.
remember me.
How about that Joan Baez, folks? Well, she's pretty. Sings pretty.
Once
Maybe a little too pretty.
true love mine.
Your songs are like an oil painting at the dentist's office.
You're kind of an asshole, Bob.
If you go with snowflake storm, when the rivers freeze and summer
It's a nice movie, I guess.
If anyone is gonna hold your attention on a stage, you have to kind of be a freak. You can be beautiful or you can be ugly, but you can't be plain.
keep her from the howling winds.
When's the new album out?
Soon. 200 people in that room, and each one wants me to be somebody else. And they should just let me be.
Let you be what?
Whatever it is they don't want me to be.
I hear Bob is playing electric.
Not on our stage, he isn't.
Once upon a time, you're just so fine.
They just want me singing Blowing in the Wind for the rest of my goddamn life.
Then you
Well, this is gonna piss some people off.
people come.
You came here with nothing but a guitar. You never talk about your family, your past.
People make up their past, Sylvie. They remember what they want. They forget the rest.
I want to know which side he's on.
I'm not sure they want to hear what I want to play, Johnny.
I want to hear it.
How does it feel?
Turn it down! Play it loud! Make some noise, BD.
To have you on your own, like a
I mean, it looks good. I can't wait to see what Robert has to say about it.
like a
Edward
rolling
Norton,
stone.
great cast. I mean, all right, let's hear what the man has to say. Robert,
I am here.
welcome to the show. Thanks for joining, and tell us. I think that looked fantastic. What do you think?
I can confirm it is freaking amazing.
Really,
Really
Okay.
good.
What's amazing about it?
It's just the whole. I just love a good movie with freaking great music and good acting. That's all I
Yeah.
need.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
To just suck me
And a
in
good
there.
story, right? I mean, it's
Yeah.
his story, so we know that's powerful.
Yeah. I mean, I have never been a humongous Bob Dylan fan. I know of him. Obviously, he's kind of a legend. But I was never listening to his music. But I
Yeah.
really became a fan of Bob
Really?
Dylan by watching this movie.
Okay, well, that's
Um,
interesting. I mean, we were talking about it before, and I'm also not was never a big fan, and I think he's one of those
Yeah.
figures that either you love him or you hate him, or you love him or you indifferent, and I'm kind of indifferent.
Yeah.
Never really got it myself, but watching that trailer makes me want to watch the movie.
Yeah, it's a bit like Walk the Line with Joaquin Phoenix. Johnny Cash. I also knew about Johnny Cash, but after watching the film, I just went to buy the soundtrack and just played it and became kind of a Johnny Cash. And it's the same with this, actually. I'm going to go buy the soundtrack for sure.
No kidding.
This movie has the most amount of songs in any biopic I've ever experienced. It has like 3 minutes between songs, and the movie's like 2.5 hours long. It has like 30 songs or something.
Wow.
It's
So it's like
crazy.
almost his catalog, Bob Dylan's catalog of music is massive.
Yeah.
And he's written a ton of songs that are performed by others that you wouldn't even know were Bob Dylan songs.
That's true.
where you go,
That's true.
that's the Bob Dylan song. He performs him himself, but he's got a very kind of style about him that
Yeah.
isn't so musical, maybe. But so you're saying they did their best attempt to put in like not his whole catalog because I think it's a lot, but
No,
30
I
is
think the movie
good
takes
number.
yeah, the movie takes place I think from early 60s, maybe 60, 61, something
Mm-hmm.
like to maybe 69. So it has like kind of a 8 year,
Yeah,
8 or 9.
1961 it says here, and he was 19 years old when he
Yeah,
arrives to New York. So it kind of starts there.
yeah. So and yeah, and it it's a classic, um, pretty straightforward narrative about
Biopic, yeah,
how he
yeah,
was discovered, how it all started,
right.
and he has a very special just way of talking and carrying himself. I mean, Bob Dylan is really he really is kind of unique in
Yeah, he's
both
got
his
the kind
singing
of
and the way he
voice and
just
almost one of the original beatniks, you could say.
kind of like a grumpy kind of I'm
Yeah,
talking like this because I'm tired all the time, and that's the way he sings as well, and it's great. And he
yeah,
just and Timothy, who of late is the pretty much I would say biggest star
yeah,
right now
yeah.
with Dune and
He's blown
all
up.
kind of a yeah. I mean,
The guy
I
can
didn't
do no
like
wrong at
him.
this point.
I didn't like him in the beginning when he first appeared. He seemed to me like this little cute boy, you
Yeah, I
know.
know what you mean. Yeah, like where's
And
this guy coming from? And he didn't
how
rise
come
up
he
through the
gets these
ranks of
huge
act.
roles? I mean,
He
what's
got
the
yeah. All of a
big
sudden, he's
deal?
playing Willy Wonka, and you go,
Yeah,
I don't heard of this
yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Why does he deserve that? But as you see,
But this is it's great to see him, bloom and
I looked like he
stretch
was kicking
his.
ass with this role.
For me, I mean, I haven't seen all his stuff, but the ones I have seen, he's been fine in, Little Women and Dune.
Right.
He's good, and he's kind of better in each film. And this is the one that's really he showed what he can do.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing, but it's great directing, James Mangold.
James Mangold. And by the way, that's the same that directed the Johnny Cash
That's true.
um,
And he's of
biopic.
course a quality director. So yeah,
Yeah, you can't go
um,
wrong. Ford versus Ferrari. Um,
Ford versus Ferrari,
a com-
Kate and Leopold, Girl Interrupted
that's
that we
going way
mentioned
back.
I
Yeah.
think last
Oh,
time.
is that his as well? Yeah. Um,
Copland,
oh,
uh,
Copland. Yes, of course. Yeah, great. Yeah.
and then he did Logan and the Wolverine and the latest Indiana Jones movie, which was not that great, but anyway,
Have you seen
good
The Call of the
CD.
Wild, by the way, with Harrison Ford?
No,
That's a
no, I want to
Mangold,
see.
and I want to see that as well.
It's
And I
is it with
love
a
Jack
dog or
London.
whatever?
Well, it's a Jack London book, and
Right.
it's kind of and it's a classic. So, but
I
I
do want to see
love the
that.
book, so I've been reluctant to like, yeah, I have my own vision. When you read a book and you fall in love as a kid, you have a
Yeah,
vision of the characters. Harrison Ford, I love as well, but
of
I don't want
course.
the book to be ruined with by a bad movie. So I've been
Yeah, it's
reluctant, but
dangerous. I
yeah,
always said, don't read the book; it destroys the film.
right.
As a movie
Spoken
buff.
like a true movie buff, exactly. Yeah, that's true. Don't. But if you've seen the film first, why read the book? There's no point. Yeah.
Yeah, if you can get it in 2 hours, why spend like a week reading a book? But yeah, no,
Reading.
I'm kidding. I mean, Harry Potter is a good example. I think the films are amazing, and the books are amazing. The books are more detailed,
Yeah.
which they can be, which a movie cannot be.
Yeah.
But yeah,
If you can separate, like Lord of the Rings, I read those books as a kid too. I loved them, and I can kind of separate my imagination of how things were in those books
yeah,
as opposed to the Peter Jackson version, it's excellent, and there's no
yeah.
problem with me watching those. And somehow you kind of merge those two worlds together, don't you?
Yeah, and I have the same with I read all the Ian Fleming James Bond books, and I'm a big
Oh
James
yeah,
Bond fan. And when I read the books, it's like this is the literally bond, what do you call it? Literary
literary.
Bond. Yeah. So that's the face and the how he looks and how he acts in the books is a different Bond than to the one I'm watching when I'm watching movies, and I equally enjoy both.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't disturb me, and that's good when that is a possibility.
Yeah. So you went into this film having no real like background in Dylan at all.
Well, no. I mean, I knew some
Other than
things
just
about
like
Bob Dylan and
Dylan's.
some songs, but
So that's interesting because then you approach this movie just as a film buff, interested in watching a great film,
yes,
and you sort of discovered this and character through this person.
I became a Bob Dylan fan, and I became a Timothée Chalamet fan as well.
Wow.
So that alone says a lot.
That does say a lot.
I'm not embarrassed to say it.
Yeah. Well, maybe you should be, but
That's
how
her
was Ed?
fan.
How was Eddie Norton?
Yeah, Eddie's he's a quality guy. He's a very important figure in the story. He plays his kind of mentor, let's say. He plays a famous musician. Let me just. Do you have it
Pete
there?
Seeger, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And which is Bob Dylan's one of his. He looks up to him and so on. So they share a lot of screen time. Great acting also by him. And Johnny Cash actually figures in it in a few scenes as well.
I saw him in the trailer. Kind of.
I thought it would have been funny if they brought in Joaquin for those scenes. He's only in it like in 3-4 scenes, but it would have been funny to have him there. But
it doesn't sound like something Joaquin would do, like to revisit. But
No,
since it was
maybe
the
they tried
same
to get
director
him.
and stuff, yeah, I'd be like, come on, man, just revisit the role. And
yeah, man, it's me, James.
every
Come
time
on,
they
do
need
this for me.
every time they need Johnny Cash in anything, they just keep going back to Joaquin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So great music, great acting, fantastic story. This is a 4 out of 5 kind of film.
Okay. Another good high rank there. Yeah.
Yeah, music especially is I'm not really. It's strange because I'm more of a pop guy, you know, 70s,
Jackson.
80s, but I have respect and understanding for all type of genres. It's just that I don't seek it out in my free time. But when it's there for me, when I'm watching it or listening to it, I get sucked in when it's good.
And you watch all these movies in the cinema still, right?
Oh yeah, I'm a cineast.
Yeah,
sure. I'm also physical media. I do stream, but I don't like streaming that much because
you want to get the full immersive experience.
Yeah,
popcorn in the lap.
That's a discussion for another time.
Well, I was going to say because it's Timothy. He sang all the songs, right?
He did.
So
it's
that's
impressive.
I don't know if he played the guitar as well. Did it look like he was playing guitar?
I'm sure if there's some behind the scenes stuff, which will be when it comes out on physical
He's
media.
at least playing some guitar.
Yeah. But you can tell when he's on stage and they're filming and he's singing that he changes the
he's doing a good job at least of faking it if he's not actually playing. He's not just like gripping the neck.
He probably did learn parts
Must
of
have had
the
to learn
songs.
if he went that far to play. And he played the harmonica as well.
You have to when you're playing somebody like that iconic. You kind of cannot just like, I'll do it with my acting. You need to immerse yourself.
That's a full immersive experience.
Yeah.
Good
Highly
stuff.
recommended.
Okay. Well, glad to hear it. There you heard from the man himself. Audiences, go check it out. A Complete Unknown. I'm going to check it out. I'm looking forward to when it comes out. I don't go to the cinema, so I'll be waiting for the
shame on you.
The release. I'm lazy. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Robert.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us again on Offstage on Screen. That was our review, Robert's review of A Complete Unknown. And he gives it 4 stars, or whatever it is. See you next time.